beautiful sunny day here in downtown Manhattan, and I'm here with Chef Alain Bosse from the Taste of Nova Scotia, and we're going to learn a little bit about the males and the females of the lobster variety. So let's talk about, a lot of people get confused. We know that, most people know that the females are sweeter.
Yes.
But how do you tell which is which? Because they all look the same from this angle.
There's three ways to tell, but the one way, when you go to a lobster pound, you order so many lobsters and you say, I want 4 or 5 females or whatever. They pick them right away without even looking at the lobster. So that's the first way we'll teach you first.
Okay.
And if you look at the lobster on the left, see how his tail is somewhat narrow versus a lobster on the right, it's a little wider.
Oh.
Therefore, the wider hips.
She has hips.
She has hips, exactly.
Okay.
Because there is actually a function because of it, because when you flip it around, you'll notice that the inside of her tail is actually wider than the male side. There, thank you. Than the male side. And see how it's much wider? And she carries all her eggs on both sides of her tail. So when they're ready to hatch, she then releases them into the water.
Okay, now I also see these sort of more fibrous, hairy pieces. Does that
hold on to the eggs?
To the eggs.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the eggs actually have something to hold on to.
I see.
And the second part, which is the most common part, is if you look at the 2 top tentacles, two top little legs. These ones are soft on a female versus a little more rigid on a male.
Ah, soft versus rigid. Are you listening, people? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And therefore brings us to our next subject: how they mate.
How they mate. Because that's what we're all about here at the Culinary Media Network.
Are you really? Because I always am a little shy about talking about that. But sensuality is the best way. And you know what? A lobster mating is majestic. So it's very sensual. But the good part is the fact that the lobster cannot swim forward because their legs in the front and their tools are too heavy.
So they're not swimming.
No, because they would flip forward, right? In the sand, because they're bottom feeders. That's what lobsters are. So therefore, the way they swim is they basically take on water and push them backwards.
Like mermaids.
Like mermaids, exactly. Similar to that. But the beauty and the majestic of the water, picture, it's a sunny afternoon. No, I'm just kidding.
Here in New York City.
Yeah, New York City. No, but we're deep into the waters, and basically, because they swim backwards, their tails are up in the air quite a bit.
So is she flirting?
She's flirting. When she starts to move these up in the air in the water, she's then flirting. And that's the mating call, right? Okay. And the male reciprocates by doing the same with his. And they swim backwards. So therefore, they're majestically make love up in the air like this.
Well then.
In the water.
That's
there you go. You learn something new.
The gymnastics of lobster sex.
You know what? They're very, very, very healthy and very agile lobsters.
Right. Oh,
so
that's
fantastic. How
fantastic.
lobsters mate.
Okay, wonderful.
Yeah,
well, thank you for that very enlightening lesson.
You're welcome.
So remember your males and your females.
That's right. That's right. And when you go to the market, ask for females because the females is the sweeter of the 2 lobsters.
They're always sweeter. So.
Yeah, they're expensive though. They're more expensive. No, I'm just kidding.
Of course. Thank you, Chef.
No, welcome.
Oh, that dill is so nice.
That'll be just
male or female.
It doesn't matter. What's your preference?
Delish.